Hey, it's Ryan Thomas Dalton. Welcome to another episode of Film Slacker. Today's going to be a short one. We're going to take a quick look at a lens I've had for a while and I've wanted to do a video on it. It's the Rokinon 35mm cinema lens. I bought a used one. I always deal in used equipment just because you'll always get a better deal. And these aren't cheap, especially the 35mm Rokinon Cine lens. However, they are cheap in comparison to other cinema lenses, and that's what the appeal is with the Rokinon. Now, I'm not going to walk around and demonstrate this lens too much. I'll show you some clips from a short film that Aiden directed, so you can get an example, an idea of how it shoots. However, it's just not a walk-around lens. This is the Rokinon 35mm cinema lens. Declicked aperture for smooth changing of the aperture, manual focus. Everything about this is manual. Yes, if you put it on any camera, still manual. A lot of questions about that. There's not much to it. It's a manual lens, no matter what. So, I have the E-mount. Mounts on the Sony a6000, which is an E-mount. Now you'll see what I mean about it not being a walk-around lens. Once you get it on there, now you're dealing with this. It's a heavy lens, and it weighs down the body. In fact, I don't even like to use the lens without support. I purchased this from Amazon. It's a tripod mount, mounts on a tripod, and your camera mounts right on here. And then what I also have is a tiny little lens support there so that the weight of the lens isn't tugging on the body of the camera. So already you're dealing with a setup like this, and it weighs a ton. Best bet is locking it down on a tripod. Especially with no optical or any kind of image stabilization. It's as manual and as simple as they come. The construction of the body is some sort of alloy along with some plastic. It's sturdy enough. I've had guys say they'll eventually wear these out. These are guys who are taking the lenses everywhere with them. I do take this lens a lot of places, but I'm not rough on it. And it holds up. So, once you've got it mounted on here, like I said, you're going to want to lock it down. Another option with this rather large 35mm cinema lens is to throw it on an even bigger rig, something like this. This is a newer rig. That's the brand Newer. You can buy it on Amazon. It's a less expensive version of some of the other rigs. I think this was about 70 bucks. Get it mounted on there like so. Again though, you're working with a big setup. I have also used this for stills. It takes some nice still photos. We're shooting this on the iPhone 6s Plus, not in 4K however, just in 1080. I'll give you a look at the still so you can see what we're working with. Now, being a 35mm lens on a crop sensor, you're leaning more towards the equivalent of 52.5 millimeters on a full frame. If you're an a6000 user like I am, or have a similar camera, you're actually setting the camera to no lens. So the camera thinks there's no lens, and then you throw the Rokinon 35mm cinema lens on your camera. You still can use your focus peaking, which I highly recommend. You can use your zebras, anything to aid you in shooting video. Other than that though, the lens itself, completely manual. Some of the benefits of this lens, like I mentioned earlier, it's much less expensive than equivalent lenses. You're gonna pay twice, 3 times, 4 times as much and on up for cinema lenses. This lens I think is around $400 or $500. Used though, maybe you can get it for $300. I got it for $300. Again, other advantages. Has built-in gears for your follow focus, which is nice if you want to throw a follow focus on your rig. Declicked aperture, so it doesn't click, click, click between f-stops. It's just a smooth turn, so you can adjust on the fly. I really like this lens. I like the optics. I like the image it produces. We'll take a look at a few examples of some video shot with this lens, and we'll also take a look at some video after it was color corrected, color graded, and you can see what you think. Here's a few raw shots using this lens, shot in 1080p. I've always found that the image it produces, especially with some sort of custom setting on your camera, you can get a nice flat image to use and then color grade from there. I've really liked it from the start for that reason. Again, it produces real nice images. Now I'll show you a few things that were shot, color graded. Some of the quality has been lost because it's been compressed. But here's a clip from one of Eden's short films. He's walking up a dirt road. The trees look gorgeous. The road looks gorgeous. Again, this has been compressed a little bit. This isn't even full quality, but it looks great. Here's another shot of the kids going after the clone of me. I play the evil clone of myself. They're going after me. Again, the woods look amazing. I'll show you a few more examples using the Rokinon Cine 35mm. And there you go, just a quick look at the Rokinon Cine 35mm. Again, I dig this lens. I think it's worth checking out. You can also rent them. You can rent the whole kits. Some consist of the 35, the 50 maybe, the 85mm, but you can rent them from companies, or you can go to Amazon or eBay and buy them there. I picked this one up on eBay just because I got it cheap in an auction used, and I'm happy with it. It's held up great. Again, the construction, maybe not solid metal. Some of it's metal, some of it's some sort of alloy plastic, I don't know. But if you take care of it, it's a great lens. Thank you for tuning in to Film Slacker. I'm Ryan Thomas Dalton. I'll see you next time.